The meaning of the movie author Orpheus to read for minutes published 6.03. 2020 updated 6.03. 2020 Antichrist is a dramatic horror movie released in 2009. It is directed and also written by Lars von Trier. What is the movie, Antichrist, about? The heroine of the movie is engaged in the study of theories of wife killing. She is a sadist, so the theme of her work is not chosen by chance. Realizing on a subconscious level that she has deviations, she tries in every possible way to find an excuse for her cruel actions. Continuing to work on her theories, she mocks her own child, torturing him. This will later be revealed through photographs and autopsy. There are photos found in the cabin that were taken deliberately to capture the sadism and later admire the terrible deeds. This is what many psychopaths and maniacs like to do. At the very beginning of the movie, the heroine says that her thesis is finished, as if the topic is no longer important. In reality, however, things were a bit different. She simply came to the answer to her most important question, which was how to justify herself in all these actions. She talks a lot about the wickedness of a woman's nature, as well as demons and the devil. Mentally she begins to shift all the blame to the latter. He is the culprit of the fact that I torture my son. The meaning of the movie, Antichrist, by Lars von Trier. A slow-motion and silent scene of her and him. The characters are busy having sex in the shower and do not notice what is happening around them. Then they are the same, but in the bedroom. You can notice the baby monitor, which is switched to silent mode, and a small child who is crying for his parents. The heroes of the silent scene are so engrossed in their occupation that they do not notice the child who has got out of the playpen and has come to their bedroom. The window opens and the unwanted child heads towards it. Large, beautiful snowflakes are flying outside. The child manages to climb onto a table and from there out the window, crashing to death in the process. She notices her son jumping out of the window. At that moment she experiences an orgasm. The realization comes that she is a monster and the devil has nothing to do with what is happening. The psyche cannot tolerate this stress. The next scene is a funeral procession. He kills himself with tears. She's walking in the distance with an emotionless face. Suddenly she faints. And whereas before the faces of the people around her were out of focus, now that they are gathered around her, you can see that everyone else's features are blurred. That is, the faces of other people cannot be distinguished. This concept of the movie is aimed at concentrating all the viewer's attention only on the two characters. Her emotions are blocked. The grieving process that would be natural is not set in motion. She ends up in the hospital, which makes sense. In the process of treatment, the heroine's mind is detached from reality. The cabin in the woods is something bad for her mind during the treatment process. The heroine cannot remember that evil because her brain, in its interest, does not allow her to do so. Her conscience is tormented by anguish over the deeds that the mind conceals by not allowing her to remember. The husband, on the other hand, naively believes that his wife is in agony over the loss of her child. During psychotherapy, he thinks he is helping his wife come to terms with the bitterness of loss. In reality, he's bringing back the monster. Her psyche is being primed for a sadistic return. A photograph of the child being tortured allows her to finally remember everything. The uncontrollable rage that came with the memories pours out on her husband. He nearly finds himself buried alive. With the coming realization, she decides to dig him up. The deception of the mind makes one believe that there should be no responsibility for one's actions. This fantasy makes it impossible to take responsibility and blame for the child's death. The meaning of the finale. The wife apologizes and cries. When asked if she wants to kill him, the answer follows that when 3 beggars come, someone has to die. He kills her and burns her at the stake, which is appropriate, and goes to the forest, which is full of bodies. At this point comes the realization, grief was actually unusual and the diagnosis was wrong. After stopping to eat some berries, he notices a huge number of girls rushing towards him. And all these girls have no face.